Hey guys, Sunil here, and in this video, we'll be going over how you can build better lead lists in 2025. Now, the list is very important. It is key because, once again, it's part of the fundamentals, right? Offer, copy, infra, list, right? We all work together to give you more conversions. So, I'm talking about lists today, and the reason why lists are also very important is because the people you reach out to, right, determine whether they respond well or bad to your offer and copy. For example, if you reach out to IT professionals saying that you'll help them get more real estate listings before they hit Zillow or something like that, like, what are you doing, man? Like, of course, the campaign is going to suck, right? So keep that in mind. Um, now, let's compare the old way versus the new way. This was the old way, right? Create an Apollo search URL, scrape the list, and then verify that list using something like bulk email checker or million verifier, right? This was the old way. Is this the best approach? No, sir. But it is affordable though, and you can source your list for cheap. It still works, but it's not the best solution. Why? Because it's cheap, low barrier of entry. A lot of agency owners and cold emailers use this combination already. However, if you are starting out, right, it still works. So if if you're grinding out there, you need to get your first few clients, then use this combination for now because it still works, but it's not super efficient though. Now, if you're on a shoestring budget, what do you do? If you're extremely limited on budget and capital, then again, Apollo and Million Verified is the best combination for now, in my opinion. Um, Out of these different plans, I would recommend the professional, right? Professional plan because you get 10,000 credits per month. Um, and for Million Verified, I would say get 10,000 credits, right? Apollo's $99 per month for 10,000 credits. Million Verified is $37 one time for that, 10,000 credits. Once you list once you extract your list from Apollo and clean it with Million Verify, you'll now have a list of around 4K to 5K verified leads, assuming 40 to 50% verification rate. Now, the reason why I say that is because Apollo's database is kind of outdated, right? This is their biggest problem that they need to fix. If they fix it, Apollo is going to perform incredibly well. They can, mm, I mean, that's an incredible book, right? Um, yeah, that's all I can say. So now the problem with Apollo is, right, you get only 40 to 50% of emails that are actually valid. So if you get 10,000 credits and you get 10,000 emails from Apollo, you see that, it's mentioned as verified, right? Apollo tells you that it's verified. But the problem is if we actually verify it, right, through something like Million Verifier or debounce, you'll see that only 40 to 50% are valid. That's the problem. That's why it's very key to verify your list using something like Million Verifier and not blast blindly, right? So that's that. We know that using just Apollo is not the best way. What's a better alternative? The alternative is to use multiple data sources. Lead Magic, Prospeo, Finding Mail, Enrolls, Datamart, Drop Contact, ICPs, Nimbler, and so on. The options are endless. You can start differentiating yourself from here, right? Here are some statistics about data from ZoomInfo's blog. 62% of organizations rely on marketing or prospect data that is 20 to 40% inaccurate or incomplete. Inaccurate B2B contact data wastes 27.3% of sales reps' time. That's 546 hours a year per full-time inside sales rep. That's like 1 to 2 hours per day, assuming 24 working days per month. Inaccurate data has a direct impact on the bottom line of 88% of businesses, with the average company losing 12% of its revenue as a result. Companies that employ consistent data hygiene create 700% the number of inquiries and 400% the number of leads than those who do not. So the ROI is very, very clear, right? This is meant to tell you that, hey, you need to have better data. This is a problem that a lot of companies need to solve, good contact data. Now, what's the problem with using traditional data providers? The problem with using traditional data providers are twofold. Number one, they're expensive as fuck and they tend to restrict your internal contracts, which again makes it more expensive. And the data coverage is not the best. Data coverage in sales, especially when it comes to contact data, is all about how complete and accurate your information is for potential leads and customers. This means having up to date names, job titles, emails, phone numbers, and company details. When you have higher data coverage, your sales team can reach out much more effectively and engage with the right audience, making your sales campaigns much more effective, efficient, and successful. Plus, it helps you to segment and personalize your sales efforts better, right? Which can lead to a much higher conversion rates. What a lot of these traditional data providers lack is the capability to provide us with enough data coverage, as mentioned before, right? Waterfall enrichment is the solution to it. Now, what do you do when it comes to waterfall enrichment? You basically waterfall data providers, meaning you can check 5+ different data providers. If provider A doesn't provide you with an email, doesn't have the email, then you can check provider B, C, etc. Right? This process continues until you find the email that you want, and you only pay when you find a match. This way, you can maximize coverage and reduce your costs, right? Minimize wasted, spending. Your coverage will increase by 2 to 3x on average, and your cost will plummet relative to leading providers like ZoomInfo. This is why waterfall enrichment is really good. Now, how do you do this exactly? There are three options that are out there: Clay, Better Contact, Full Enrich. These are three options that I would recommend, right? Um, but I personally believe, you know, Clay is the best because, yeah, Clay allows you to be more flexible. Now, here's the list building and cleaning workflow, and you can leverage via Clay, right? You use Sales Navigator plus Clay to build your initial list. And then once you have your initial list, you can even use Apollo to build your initial list, of course, but the biggest problem is the export, right? And you can't really export large amounts of data, fast. Um, Once you have your list built with something like Sales Navigator plus Clay, you do waterfall enrichment. Trikit.ai is also a very good provider that a lot of agencies recommend. So a lot of experts also recommend as well. So I would suggest trying that out as well. Um, Once you have your list waterfall enriched via multiple providers like FoundEmail, LeadMagic, Prospeo, and so on, verify and clean your list via Mail Verifier, Debonds, or Instantly Verify. Any of these three work, right? So yeah. Now, this is the pricing plan. Better Contact and Full Enrich and also other options that you can use. These are some of their pricing plans that they have. Another cool thing is Better Contact and Full Enrich are already integrated into Clay as integrations. So that's that as well. With that being said, that's pretty much the video. This video is meant to give you a framework or guideline on how you can build better lists in 2025. The message or the summary, if you don't take anything else, is don't just stick to one provider. Basically, that's the message that I'm trying to give you here. Try waterfall enrichment. You have multiple different providers that are out there in the market now. You have no reason to just stick to something like Apollo or ZoomInfo. So, again, with that being said, thank you for watching this video.